Yeah, I'm all disheveled. I was sitting here because beforehand I was, taking care of the dog. I was playing with the little dog, and I totally forgot to put on my Tony Two shirts or fix my hair. Maybe it's because my mom used to have this comb, and she'd get really mad if we didn't if we lost the comb. So now I'm just afraid of a comb. Shut up. I got my soy sauce and everything, and I'm debuting it in this fashion with a neck on this T-shirt. It's like one of Stuttering John's. How you doing? I'm a mess. See what happens? I got a dog and might hear him. He is a yelling. He's yelling out there. Yeah, got my dog. Very happy about that. No, I love the dog. I'm not owing about the dog. It's just I got a fucking email right before the show. And like I'll just say some people feel compelled to like send me. I do the WABC show, Sunday nights. Did it last night. Dave Landau, great episode. People love it. And then I talk about, whatever's going on. I start off like this, talking about what's going on, maybe in my life, maybe something like, and then I go into the WABC. It's politics. It's conservative talk. That's what it is. I get it. And all that other nonsense that's going on in the world, everything. The rest of the show is like all politics. So let me just find this. Here's what I won't even say who. I'll just say somebody over at ABC. Somebody that matters over at ABC sends me this email, forwards it to me because someone felt compelled to send it to ABC. I'm a fan, Anthony, but you got to talk to. Oh, I'm a fan of Anthony, but you got to talk to him about having some topics from ABC's news cycle or current events to talk about. What the do you think last night's show prep? Fake news, MSNBC woman lying about why we don't trust the media. That seems to fit into the news cycle. Rachel Maddow lies about Trump support. Liz Warren gets called out on support of Biden during his nonsense, his presidency where he was incoherent. The judge being arrested, former or Milwaukee judge arrested for obstructing ICE. That's still in the news cycle. I have three separate topics or links on that, discussion points for one segment. I went crazy here. I went off on 73-year-old Bill Belichick awkward interview about his 24-year-old girlfriend. This doesn't sound like ABC News. That's what he said. Talk about topics from the WABC news cycle or current events to talk about. What the fuck was that? He's just doing random rambling. Why is he talking about elephants? Like I said, I start the show. I'm not a news guy. This is Anthony Cumia. Here now the news. In today's news, it's a personality-driven talk show. Personality-driven talk show. And I got a dog, so I talked about a dog for a bit. And even that had a tie-in. Curtis Sliwa sent me a very nice text about getting a dog and everything like that. So I talked about that. I talked about the mayoral race where Curtis is, and then I talked about like how I can't take, cruelty to animals online. I can watch people, war footage, things like that. That was maybe 10 minutes at most of a 3-hour show where the rest of it was all politics and everything. But this asshole has to write and send it to like people that matter at ABC. Why is he talking about elephants? Greg Kelly and all the other ABC hosts have a topic and focus. The reason Anthony is great is because he's entertaining, humorous delivery and talking about current event topics, not random talk. What the did I swear to you, I have in radio, I've sat with GMs, PDs, program directors, and consultants, and I've had conversations with them about the shows. And they'll say some stuff, and you'll be like, "Yeah, okay, all right, I'll do that. I'll do this." And then this random listener douchebag sends an email to brass up there at ABC. Not random talk. Please have him focus. And I'm not a fan of his D-level guests. Well, that I can agree with. Jim Norton, not going to listen to what Dave Landau is up to. He was my co-host a while back. He's a comic, very funny. He's got a new book out that's really provocative and how his life went before he got into comedy and whatnot. So, and I can even understand that there are going to be guests that people don't like. I get that. There'll be guests that people think are amazing. Someone's not going to like it. Do you rattle off a email like that because you didn't like one guest? Jim Norton was one of the most watched and listened to programs on that station. Yeah. Informing audience as to what they're up to lately. Like, this guy seems to want me to start the show and be the news. Like, he wants me to be the news. Greg Kelly. I'm not those guys. I wasn't hired to be those guys. I'm a former shock jock. For the past 10 years or so, I've done a comedic program that is lifestyle stuff and, politics, of course. People know I am a right-wing kind of guy because I've done shows like that. And then, the guy's got to fire off an email to one of the brass over there at ABC. I'm not even attached to this. He could have put me in there too, or he could have just sent it to me. Sends it to, I'm not dealing with shit like this. In the old days, I'd have gone all right, I'll try to that. So I wrote back to the guy because it was the brass sent me this. Literally, I got it right before this show. I got to be in a mood before I do my goddamn show here. And he just posts FYI. I got this. Just passing it on to you, FYI. I know there are plenty of good emails. Holy shit. Great hire. Funny. Love it. You don't send me those. Interesting. So I just wrote back. I put, I opened with a few minutes about talking about animals. The entire rest of the show is current news events. These fuckers pick one thing they don't like and they email it to one of my bosses. By the way, the most views Greg Kelly has gotten from a video of his show was 797. And that was 2 years ago. This guy's trying to sell Greg Kelly and how great Greg is. And I need to focus more like Greg. 797 views on a video. That's the top one. It's all less than that from there. Top one, 2 years ago. Anthony Cumia and Jim Norton, 13 days ago, 122,000 views. 797 2 years ago, 122,000 views 13 days ago. And that isn't an anomaly. Every one of my videos and audio clips have gotten top of the list of every show. I get more views on my videos, more listens on my audio. So FYI, I'm going to do the show I do. And I don't appreciate getting one-off emails sent to me from some jerk-off. I'm a fan, but ooh, he needs focus. Greg Kelly and the other guys, they focus. Yeah, no one listens. Right before the show, Oh, these puppy bites itch. But that's just, God damn, that pisses me off. On all ends. On all ends. And it just reminds me of like radio. This reminded me. It was a stark reminder. Because that's what used to happen. You know, O&A show, we'd be doing shit and you know, we'd get called in because one email. Oh, we got an email here. It's like, yeah, what? Well, they were a little pissed off that you guys were talking about this or that, or yeah, are you calling us in the office to tell us you wrote him back and told him to go to his mother? Is that what you're telling us? Because if it's anything else, this is ridiculous. So let me see your response where you tell him to go to his mother. Well, for your information, just passing this on. Yeah, I can read some of these. Believe me, I'm not in a bubble where I think I'm miraculous. I've gotten tweets, DMs, Instagram comments, texts from, you know, people that somehow got my number, and clips on YouTube of people, you know, that sucks, he sucks, this sucks. I get those. Thank God the vast majority of the feedback are people that enjoy the show because it's Anthony Cumia doing conservative talk radio on WABC. That's why. So it's like you take those one-offs and throw it away. I get them. Unless you're going to also send every email you got that says, awesome, great job, good hire. Listen to last night's show, hilarious. Oh my God, Anthony and Jimmy have to be on all the time. Where are those? I know they get those. No FYI with the attachment sent to me for those emails. Just I need to focus like Greg 797 views Kelly. I'm performing as per everyone's expectations, above. As far as the on-air stuff, it's above expectations. That ratings book, when that comes out, based on, you know, current trends and whatnot, the ridiculous Sunday at 8 to 11 slot will get bigger numbers than midday over there. Why? Anthony Cumia. That's why. And then everything else I do, you know, people know me. You know me. I'm not the most driven guy, but I get everything done on time. Live reads, things, sending video clips and audio clips that I have to do. I take, you know, two segments out of my prep just to put on tape at the big top of the hour of, 8 and 9 o'clock. That's 2 more breaks. It's not easy to just come up with shit. And they're like, yeah, we'd like a little more of you instead of a network news break at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, the top of the hour. So could you record like a 6-minute segment? And that's 2 more segments I have to come up with. And I do it. I toil over it. I make sure I do because I don't want to look bad. And then videos. I video the entire show here on my end. And then I make sure I send it over in a timely fashion. Promotions, sales, things like that. This is no surprise to me. I knew that this entailed all this, and I do it. And I do it well. And I get sent one shit email that I need focus and news topics and don't talk about elephants. Why didn't he bitch when E-Rock was on? If he doesn't want me talking about elephants. Oh, E-Rock. I don't know. I'm in a shit mood. People rarely see me in a shit mood here. Got to be honest. Because I'm usually in a good mood. My bills get paid. A pretty girl. Got a dog now. And then I got right before the show. And I'm sitting here and I got the thing and the music's playing to start the show. And I'm like, all right, I'll get it. And then I couldn't. I had to address this because it pisses me off. Holy moly. Oh boy, this one's just going to be a... There was a few O&A shows, you might recall, where O was arguing with A and vice versa. And this would happen before the show a lot of times. And right before the show, we just go, have to cut it off and do the show. And those shows, I called them clock watchers. Because all you're doing is going, come on, end this thing already. I just want to get out of here. Because you have to kind of fake. Hey, Hope, what's up, man? How was your night? Oh, Anthony, we were... And meanwhile, like 5 minutes before, we're like, well, you. You're being an asshole. You did. And then you got to do the show. I'll be honest, that didn't happen a lot. You would think with the relationship, especially the way it is now, you would think that happened a lot. It didn't. I could count probably 3 times that happened in 20 years. There were other instances where there was just kind of a, as my comic friend Adam Ferrara called it, a pissed mist in the room. You walk in from work, your wife is standing there, and there's just a pissed mist. Yeah. There was a piss mist in the room, but not like, oh my God, we're going on right after having some words. And this just reminds me of that. I'm just, I love doing this. Done it for many years and I enjoy it. And now I'm just like, because I really can't, I can't really get into it because all that's on my mind now. Is that nonsense? An email, douchebag. Yeah.